She said a fan. Is she correct?
Yes.
Who else has the riddles for us?
I am something. I am something. I am the longest snake in the world. Where am I?
What did you say? I am the longest snake in the world. What am I? Who knows the answer? Who knows the answer?
Road.
Road. Is it correct?
Yes.
A round of applause for him. Who else has the riddles for us? Does any one of you have the riddles for us?
I am something.
Something.
I kissed my mother before I died.
He said, I kissed my mother before I die. What am I? Something. Matches. Is she correct?
Yes.
A round of applause for her. Now, a round of applause for yourself. I am something.
Something.
I am something.
Something.
I am something.
Something.
I have eyes. I have fingers. But I cannot see. I have fingers. I have eyes. And I have body. What am I? You said? No. No. Should I tell you the answer?
Yes.
The answer is clock. Yes. Clock can see, and clock has fingers. Can the clock touch? Can the clock see? No. We can only see the clock. Is it clear now?
Yes.
Now, I am something.
Something.
I am something.
Something.
I have one leg on a very big tree. What am I? I have one leg on a very big tree. What am I? You can try. What is it?
Umbrella.
No. You're wrong.
Fan.
No. A mushroom. Have you ever seen a mushroom before?
Yes.
Yes. It has one leg and a very big tree. Do you understand now?
Yes.
Now, I am something.
Something.
I am something.
Something.
I am very thin and long to the sky. I am very thin and long to the sky. Who knows the answer? Oh, a round of applause for her. You know, rain is long to the sky.
Yes.
And it's very thin. Want to clap for me also? Now, let's move to joke. What do I call it?
Jokes.
Who has a joke for us?
My joke is Badamasi.
Okay.
Uncle, mo fẹ́ lọ tọ̀. Shut up, you can't speak good English. Go back to your seat. Uncle, permit me to dine here. I need a good, go. Uncle, may I go use the restroom? Good, go. So she now said, ṣé uncle wo pé orí mi dàrú ni? Òun náà wá dìde wá sọ pé, Uncle, by Badamasi me to dine urinate.
Do you understand the joke?
Yes.
Do you understand the joke?
Yes.
Okay, who has a joke again? Speak louder. Do you understand? The preacher said, who wants to go to hellfire? And a boy now stood up. The preacher now said, why did you stand up, you this boy? He said, I don't want it to be only you that will go to hellfire. has a joke here?
A husband and wife in the house, they were fighting. Husband now told wife that help me to help wake me up when it is time that I go to office. He wrote it in a book and gave it to the wife. The wife now wrote it, okay. When it's time is time, the wife woke up, now wake the husband up. When it's time passed. When it's not time for the man to go to the office and he sacked.
Do you understand the joke?
Yeah.
Do you understand? He said there are couples in a house. The man wrote it in a paper that when it is time for me to go to the office, you wake me up. And in the following day, when it is time for the husband to go to work, the wife too wrote it inside the paper that it is time for you to wait to go to work. When the husband now wake up, he saw the paper and he quickly hurried to office because it is late already. When he got to the office and the husband was sad. Is it not funny?
It's funny.
It's funny. Let me tell you one joke. The title of my joke is Musa. What do I call it? Musa. One day, the teacher came in to teach Musa and his colleague in the class. So as the teacher started teaching them, the teacher was writing on the board 1 plus 2, ABC. So when it is time for the teacher to explain to the pupils, the teacher looked at the back. He saw Musa playing with his pencil. The teacher now said, Musa, I'm busy here teaching you. You are there playing with your pencil. Will you pay attention to what I'm teaching you? Do you know what Musa did? Musa carried his bag. He packed all his books inside his bag. He carried his lunch bag. He put his bag on his back. And do you know what he did? He moved out of the class. Teacher now said, Musa, I said that you should pay attention. And you carried your school bag and your lunch bag. Where are you going to? Musa said, Auntie, you said I should pay attention. But I did not have money to pay attention. Do you understand? Musa said, my mommy and my daddy cannot afford the money for paying attention. Auntie, the teacher said, I did not say you should pay money. I don't say you should bring money. I was only telling you to listen attentively. Can you see how dull Musa is? Now, are you all happy?
Yes.
Are you all happy with the joke?
Yes.
If you are happy, a round of applause for yourself. It is time for storytelling. It is time for
Storytelling.
It is time for
Storytelling.
Does any one of you has a story for us here? Let's hear your story.
My name is Olateri. The title of my story is
The Greedy
Mother. Story.
Story.
Once upon a time, there was a girl named Tito. Her mother has died. So her father married another wife. She went there to live with them as a stepdaughter. The stepmother usually sends her unnecessary errands that she cannot send her husband. One day, the stepmother sends the stepdaughter that she once search for one unnecessary thing inside the dark forest. As she was going,
hear the story she just told us now? What have you learned from the story she just told us? You speak louder. What have you learned from the story? We should not be wicked. What have you learned from the story? Greediness is not good. What have you learned from the story? Maltreating is not good. Now, what have you learned from the story? Oh, speak louder. It's not good to be treating people. It's not good to be treating another person badly. I hope you all understand the story. A round of applause for her again. Now, what's the moral lesson you want us to know? Don't be greedy and don't be wicked. And that's the moral lesson from the story. Now, it's time for me to tell you my own story. Now, sit right and hear my own story. Are you ready to hear my own story? Yeah. If you're happy, a round of applause for yourself. Story. The title of my story is A Stranger. What do I call it?
A stranger.
A stranger. One day, a stranger went into a community. As he was going, he saw two people. One was outside sitting down, and the other one was outside sweeping the surroundings. The one that sat down, she's ready to eat. She has placed her food on the table. And likewise, she has 2 sachets of water with her. In that community, there is no water. Before they can get water, they will go far away. Before they can get water to drink, they will go to far away to get water to drink. And look at this stranger. As he came to meet them, he said, "Good day, my people. Please, I'm very thirsty. Can I get water to drink?" And the one that sat down, ready to eat, and she has 2 sachets of water with her, she said, you are thirsty. And you know that in our community, there is no water. And you said you want to drink water. These 2 sachets of water that I have here, I cannot drop just only one of it. Can you imagine? She said, I have 2 sachets of water, and I cannot drop any. Even point of it, I cannot drop it. You know, I said there are 2. And the second one was busy sweeping. She was sweeping. She did as if she doesn't hear what the first person was saying. So, as she heard how the man was doing, he said, sir, good day, sir. I'm sorry to interrupt you people. As I have just only 1 sachet of water in my house. And me too, I want to drink from that water. Would you mind if we share the 1 sachet water? The man now said, you have 1 sachet of water. I want us to share it together. The man now looked down on the one sitting down there, and this person has 2 sachets of water, and she cannot drop a point from it. The man now said, okay, don't worry, I will drink from it. So the second person dropped the broom she was using, and she went inside. Okay, and she went inside to take the sachet water. She now said, this is the sachet water that I have. Please allow me to drink little from it, that I will give you the remaining. But the man was amazed. He was surprised that how could someone with sachet water, how can she survive from heat? So the lady or the person drank from it and gave him the remaining water. So the man collected it and he drank it. After drinking it, do you know what the man said? He said, I am not thirsty. I'm just set to test you because I feel like helping you. That's how I do. That's how I do. I do help people. Do you know what the man said? He called on his driver. He now said, Adamu, please come over. So the man ran, you know, when you want to answer your boss, you run faster. So he ran. I said, hey, good day, my boss. I'm here, my boss. He said, let me have the envelope. He collected the envelope and gave it to the woman. Okay, he gave it to the person that gave him the water. Do you know what he said in the envelope? He gave the person a lot of money. So the person that was sitting down, that said that she cannot release a drop of water for the man. Do you know what she said? He said, money? You gave this person money? Sir, you can take the 2 sachets of water. You can drink everything. See, I'm ready to give you all the water. I'm ready. Sir, you can take it. You can take the water and drink everything. The man said, it is late. It is late. I don't need your water anymore. But just for me not to be biased, I'll give you an envelope also. He also gave the person envelope. Contains with little money. Can you imagine? The one with 2 sachets of water cannot help, but the one with 1 sachet of water helped the man. Then, after helping the man also helped her. Now, what have we learned from this story? Now, we should be helpful. What have we learned from the story? Is to share with others. What have you learned from the story? We should be kind and not to be wicked to people. What have you learned from the story? Not to be greedy. What have you learned from the story? We should help people. What have you learned from the story? We should not be selfish. Who else has learned the story? Who else has learned a lesson from this story? Now you? To do the right thing at the right time. Above all, being kind is very good. You must be kind to a stranger. If you see anyone that he or or she is in need of help, try and help the person, no matter how little you have. No matter how little you have to help one another. If you know that you have 2 pencils with you and your friend doesn't have any, what will you do? You will share with the person that doesn't have. I hope you've learned something from the story. Now, if you've learned something from the story, a round of applause from me. Now, are you all happy?
Yes.
Are you all happy?
Yes.
Are you all happy?
Yes.
What do we do on storyline?
We listen to story on storyline.
What do we do on storyline?
We listen to story on storyline.
Storyline, storyline, storyline.
Storyline, storyline, storyline.
Storyline, storyline, storyline.
Storyline, storyline, storyline.
Oh yes, thanks for joining us again on this week's edition on
Storyline.
Join us next week for another fresh edition on OSBC Television, Channel 32 UHF. Bye for now.
ọ̀kan làwọn ètò lórí ìkànnì mú màwòrán.
startime ti dé pẹ̀lú eré alárinrin white flower bí ẹ ti mọ̀ pé a fẹ́ràn yín la ṣe pinnu láti ṣe àfihàn white flower eré òde òyìnbó sí èdè yorùbá fún ìgbádùn yín agbẹjọ́rò Dante Cruz àti aya rẹ̀ ló ṣèkúngẹ́ ikú òjì lọ́wọ́ àwọn agbanipa látàrí ẹ̀rí ìwà àjẹbánu èyí tí ó tọpinpin lórí gómìnà Julio Andante àti ọmọ rẹ̀ ṣùgbọ́n orúkọ ọmọ wọn Lily yọ ní ọjọ́ náà ta ló pa mòfin ọ̀hún kí ni padàbọ̀ Lily sílùú Andante white flower yóò mọ̀ wá sójú ìwòran yín lórí ìkànnì ST Yorùbá lóṣù karùn-ún yìí láti ọjọ́ ajé sí ọjọ́ ẹtì dédé aago 8 àṣálẹ́ lórí ìkànnì táwa yìí ST Yorùbá ọmọ káàárọ̀ òjíire.
rẹ lábẹ́ òfin. Ẹ̀tọ́ rẹ lábẹ́ òfin lètò tí yóò máa sọ ẹ̀tọ́ tí kò wá ní gẹ́gẹ́ bí ọmọ Nàìjíríà rere lábẹ́ òfin ilẹ̀ yìí. Ẹ̀yin sá ti máa darapọ̀ mátọ́kùn ètò Kẹ́hìndé Ajíbádé gẹ́gẹ́ bí yóò ṣe máa fòbèlè túkọ̀ ètò lórí tẹlifíṣàn Ọ̀ṣun OSBC TV channel 32 UHF ní gbogbo ọjọ́ ìṣẹ́gun Tuesday láago 5:30 sí 6 rọ̀lẹ́ 5:30 to 6 p.m. Àwọn tó mọ̀ tì fún tẹ̀dù òfin ni yóò máa kópa lórí ètò ẹ̀tọ́ rẹ lábẹ́ òfin. Ètò ẹ̀tọ́ rẹ lábẹ́ òfin tọ̀sẹ̀ yìí ata ó tó iyọ̀ ó dùn àìgbọ́dọ̀ má gbọ́ àìgbọ́dọ̀ má wò ní. Ẹ̀tọ́ rẹ lábẹ́ òfin ètò ẹ̀ka ọ̀rọ̀ tó ń lọ níléeṣẹ́ OSBC TV ní má jẹ́ ó ròyìn rẹ̀ fún ọ yóò sọ kutu wọ̀ wọ̀. Kò dára ká máa fìyà jẹni o láì bófin.
The impact of the bank has been significant, as well as of the fund, in several areas. In the development of our agriculture, our infrastructure, water and sanitation, electricity and the electrification. These are all critical aspects of the Ghanaian economy, and the bank has been very supportive of the developments and the initiatives that we have taken here in Ghana, and it continues to be. I mean, the most dramatic and obvious one is what President Adesina went to see the other day, the 3-tier interchange, which has now been transformed into a 4-tier interchange. And it's a tourist attraction in Ghana today. A lot of people come and have a look. But that's the most obvious. But there are several areas of our national life where, so that is why we're extremely concerned about the steps that ought to be taken collectively by all of us to strengthen the bank. I'm always upset to hear that external agencies are in a position to fund more projects in Africa than our own development agency. The African Development Bank should be the most powerful agency for financing Africa's development. I think what I'm hoping will come out of the discussions of these meetings is how that matter can be addressed, how effectively we can move down the line to make sure that the African Development Bank and its concessional in the ADF have access to the huge pool of resources out there in the globe that would enable them to play this primary function of being responsible for the development and the financing of the development of the country. I think there are some things that are obvious that need to be done. I have to look at the constitution of the bank, the constitution of the ADF, the provisions that, for instance, prohibits the ADF from being able to go to the capital markets of the world. I'm sure I still don't quite understand why that should be the case, especially since that's where the money is. You hear of the figures about monies that are, if you like, in private hands as against those in public resources, and the difference is stark and dramatic. So if it is that we can't get at where the money is, it becomes very difficult to see how they can fulfill their primary function. But I believe these are some of the matters that are on the table here, and we should be looking at and trying to find solutions. Fortunately for the bank, it has a lot of support from various parts of the world. They're called regionals, who are part of the governance structure of the bank. So that the discussion is a discussion that can find, if you like, even solutions within the bank itself. People who are here representing other interests in the globe, with whom the engagement can be direct and fruitful. I think that is, there are two major issues that we have to address in the cocoa industry in Ghana. One, of course, is making sure that our farmers get their due for their labor. Historically, that has not been the case. And I think that the initiatives that President Ouattara and I have jointly fashioned, the living income differential, which is guarantee a certain minimum level of income to our farmers, is a very important step towards that. And the second, of course, is the matter that you have raised. How come an industry that is supposed to generate on the average over $100 billion worth of resources, only 6 to 7 billion of it comes to the two countries that are responsible for 2/3, nearly 70% of the world's output of cocoa? So, and the reason is very simple. All the value is created outside Cote d'Ivoire, is created outside Ghana. And how we can then now develop in such a way that we have entities in our countries which can address this deficiency and produce our chocolate. We've set certain limits for the cocoa marketing, for cocoa board, whereby I believe it's over a 3-year period. We want to have 50% of the output of our farmers being processed domestically. And I think these are the measures that we're required to take. But it is a major issue confronting the industry and confronting government, and we have to find a solution. Because the present situation is not tenable. That 10% of the value created from cocoa is returned to the farmers and to the producers, and the others go to all the people in the various middle levels of value addition. That is not a viable long-term arrangement for the industry. So the question you've asked, I think, is an extremely important one, and it is one that our government is exceptionally sensitive to. And hopefully some of the measures that we have put on the table would enable us to achieve a much better